There's nothing so lovely and nothing so happy as right living, and nothing so difficult. Because see, you're in the flesh. Your flesh is never saved, will never be saved. That's why it has to be changed. That's why it has to be crucified daily instead of Sunday. What did Paul say? I'm crucified with Christ. Nevertheless I live, yet not I, but Christ liveth in me. And the life, watch this, the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by what? Of whose faith? The Son of God's faith, who loved me and gave himself for me so I don't frustrate the grace of God. People frustrate God's wonderful grace. It's when they try to live, watch it, but I'm going to shock you with this, by their faith. You were not called to live by your faith. You were called to live by the faith of the Son of God. That's why Jesus said, have the God kind of faith. Because you know God's faith is going to work. So there's nothing so lovely, nothing so happy as right living, and nothing so difficult. Because your flesh, my Lord, it doesn't like to be put under subjugation, or what the word I want to say. You know, you ever notice Paul used crucifixion to crucify the flesh? Why did he use that? Why did he just say, kill the flesh? Because crucifixion takes time. The Romans came up with crucifixion. Why? So you would suffer at least 2 to 3 days, and you would die of asphyxiation. That's why they would break the bones of the criminals, so they couldn't push themselves up to breathe. Eventually, what happens is you begin to squeeze your lungs out to all and that's just excruciating for hours and hours. See, sometimes you think, I've crucified my flesh, and then maybe 15 minutes later, you're driving in a car, and somebody comes along and mad at you and give you some sign language. You got the revelation. All of a sudden, you're just mad as a hornet, and then you feel so bad. My God, man, I just thought I crucified that time. You're still on the cross. See, crucifixion takes time. It's painful. It's slowly. It's the same way in the flesh. Same thing when you're walking in God's word. That's why Paul used crucifixion as an example to crucify the flesh, because it doesn't die immediately. But if you keep it on the cross, it will die. It's your job to serve your generation. Honest, useful work increases the world's wealth. It always lifts the standard of life higher. Christian truth about life is that it is service. What can I do for you? You find out what's valuable in you by serving someone else.
Also available as a digital download. Order your copy today.
This media is copyrighted by Jesse Duplantis Ministries for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this media or of any pictures or accounts without Jesse Duplantis Ministries' consent is strictly prohibited.